You guys. Okay. This is a topic that I have been eagerly waiting to talk about. And honestly, I don't know why I haven't had an episode about this shit yet. I guess I just wanted to make sure I knew how to approach this topic, if that makes sense, and I also think I just needed a little bit more experience too, and you'll see what I mean. The topic of conversation today is gym culture. But maybe more so my frustrations with gym culture than just this overarching gym culture, okay? So, this is going to be fun. I'm not sure what you will, leave with after listening to this episode, but hopefully it's entertaining enough for you to kind of stick around. So, let's get into this shit. First things first, everybody loves the fitness influencer. And let me just say, there are a lot of really great fitness influencers out there who I do respect and enjoy their content. However, like anything else we see on social media, this can be really harmful. It can be good. It can be good, but also very harmful. Currently, the gym I go to is infested with fitness influencer wannabes. And listen, I'm going to try to be very mindful of the next few words that come out of my mouth because my intention is never to degrade someone else, especially when it comes to appearances. I just think, like, being an athlete for so long, I have created a certain perception of how I view other people in the gym. And that doesn't mean that it's right, okay? Again, my podcast, I'm choosing to exercise my First Amendment rights. And I'm taking this way too seriously, and it's not that deep. Okay, here's the thing. I really struggle with other women in the gym, at least my gym in particular. And let me preface by saying I truly do applaud the women who have the full confidence to come into a gym and wear nothing but a sports bra and some biker shorts. I do genuinely love that for you, okay? However, I do struggle with this concept at the same time because depending on the individual, it's like how much of that is for show and how much of that is genuine desire to show up and put in the work. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know, me personally, and I will be honest with you. No, I am not one of those women who has the confidence to wear something like that to the gym. But at the same time, I don't really have a desire to. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it even if I had the confidence to, I think, is what I'm trying to get at. And something you should know about my gym in particular is that it is infested with college kids. So honestly, it probably tracks. Besides the point, I think why I get so frustrated by this is that it's a constant reminder to me of just how much our society can actually be influenced, okay? And it's not just the women. The men come in there with this certain gym persona too that reads as inherently douchey and it just gives macho behavior. And it's just not for me. And not everyone in the gym is like that, And even if people, dress like this, again, it's no hate. I'm just frustrated that influencers yet again hold this reign over all of society's head to, make people feel like they need to be a certain way and look a certain way while they're just going to do something that's good for them. You what? We don't need to be doing that shit. That's what I'm really trying to get at, if that is making sense. Because all I'm saying is that people would not be wearing that shit if it wasn't for the influencers marketing it and using it in the way that they are. Again, I'm not trying to be coming for nobody. I'm really just, speaking my opinion on this shit. If that's what you feel comfortable in, wear that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm in no position to judge anybody for that. gym influencers, I really do have a strong appreciation for, like, especially people like Kate Thomas and Michaela Alexander. Like, I really do look up to those women, and I have learned a lot from their content and have even incorporated a lot of their workouts into my own routines. And so it can be really refreshing to engage with content like the content that they make, because they are genuine and they're extremely knowledgeable about what the fuck it is they're doing. So I think that's also why I get so frustrated with people who show up like looking and like wearing like shit like that, because I don't know. I'm just like, do you even know what the fuck you're doing? You know what I mean? Like, that sounds so conceited, but it just, I don't know. Like, I just am like, do you actually know what the fuck you're doing? You know? And I shouldn't give a fuck. I honestly shouldn't give a fuck. I just think I hold some of those, like, some of those gym influencers that I do actually respect, I just hold them in such high regard that it kind of pisses me off when I see other people not living up to that expectation. I don't know if I'm making sense. And again, I really am in no position to judge, so I should probably just shut the fuck up. But I just had to get my thoughts out there about how the fitness influencer really translates into the actual gym space and gym culture today. I guess it's just really important to notice how we're being influenced. And that goes with anything that we see on social media, but specifically as it relates to the gym, like, just be aware of how those influencers are affecting you. You know, are you wearing that shit because you're doing it for show, or are you wearing that shit because it's empowering you when you're in that space? That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying. So now that we got that out of the way, the next thing I want to get into is gym etiquette, okay? You would be amazed at the amount of people in the gym who do not practice gym etiquette. Like, this shit is crazy to me, okay? When I'm in the gym, I am very focused, but I'm also very mindful. I intentionally make sure to ask if it looks like someone is using something, or, you know, I re-rack my weights, or like wiping down my shit, you know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of people who just skip over all of these. And that's crazy to me. That's just crazy. Like, I'll give you an example, okay? Here's a 4-example story. And this actually happened to me. My gym typically can get packed. And a lot of times, when it's packed as fuck, it's really hard to find a cable, okay? Amongst the chaos, right? So I come up to this cable that looks to be empty, right? Like, there's some stuff to the side of it, but I literally watched somebody put their phone down next to this pile of shit on the ground, and he's on the machine to the left of me. So I'm like, okay, like, bet I'm about to hop on this cable, about to fucking whip out some tri-pull downs and get this shit done. Nope, wrong. I literally was about to start my first set, and this guy taps me on the shoulder, and I'm thinking, oh great, here we go. And here's the thing about me, okay? I hate conversating in the gym, and I try to avoid it if at all possible. Anyway, this is how he starts it off. Hey, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, he better watch his next words carefully, because I'm about to freak the fuck out. And then he goes, but like, I was on this cable, like, my water bottle and stuff was here, and I just went to go find an attachment. Like, I'm really not trying to be an asshole. Like, I'm just not trying to be an asshole. And first of all, okay, like, my boy, that's the first thing you're going to come up to me and say? Like, I'm already thinking you're an asshole. By you saying that, you're an asshole, okay? And never mind how he started the conversation. It was the way he said it. It was like he was talking to me like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, he was like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like, bro. And then the crazy part is that I guess, like, the stuff that he was referring to, like his stuff in his water bottle, was the pile of shit that I mentioned earlier. But, like, was it, bro? I don't know. So who knows? Like, if bro actually had his stuff there when I came up, like, okay, maybe he did. But Oh my God, that shit, I don't know. Sorry, that just like pissed me off because I'm like, he practically forced me off the machine just so he could fucking do his shit. Like, at that point, bro, can you just swallow your pride for a second and just wait? Like, I'm not gonna fucking be here the whole fucking night. Like, I'm sure you got fucking arm day and you got fucking 950 sets you gotta do on this fucking one machine. Like, bro, I'm gonna fucking hit my 4 sets and be on my way. Like, damn. Okay, sorry, I just got, I got really excited about that. But this kind of brings me into the next part about gym etiquette that just like literally pisses me off so much. There is such a lack of awareness when it comes to how long you're using a machine. Like, I understand that you need to get your sets in, but like, dude, when you're taking 10 minutes in between sets, it's like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing? And I might be exaggerating a little bit, but like, I swear to God, it's like people are not courteous of other people's time in the gym. And honestly, what's even crazier is that like, you shouldn't be taking 5 years in between your sets, anyways, because that is affecting your overall metabolic stress on whatever muscle group it is that you're targeting. And so essentially, you're decreasing the quality of your sets because you're not fatiguing yourself enough. Does that make sense? And so that's why I don't understand when people like literally people will stop and scroll on their phone for like 5 minutes, dude. Like while people are waiting to get on the machine that they're fucking using. And it's like, dude, I just don't understand that shit. Like I just don't, it's just shit is crazy to me. So I don't know. I wish people had more gym etiquette because it would make going to the gym a lot more pleasant. And the shitty part is that I low-key get like anxiety for the first 10 minutes of my workout because the gym etiquette at my gym is so bad. Like it is so bad. And now for those of you who've been listening to the last 15 minutes of this, you're probably like, bro, like you're complaining about your gym. Like, why don't you just go somewhere else? I would love to go somewhere else. Okay. I would love to go somewhere else. But however, there's not another gym in the area that offers the certain amenities that this gym offers. And even though, while it's shitty, and even some of their amenities are shitty, it still has like what I need to do what I need to do. You get what I'm saying? So it's like until somebody can bring something to my attention that's better than the place that I'm going, fuck. And I also can't help but wonder, like, is this how it is at other gyms? Like maybe it is like this at other gyms because and at the same time, like I was at a gym before the one I am at now that was too small and I just didn't have all the things that I needed. So it's like on one hand, do I go to the gym that doesn't have, shit? Or do I go to the gym that has all the shit, but the people are fucking a problem? Like, I don't fucking know. Anyway, let me relax. I'm obviously getting myself really worked up here. And now going into this last point, it's very specific, and I also think it's probably the most important, okay? So the last thing when it comes to gym culture, there's this specific piece that I really want to pull out of all of this, and that is, understanding our overall relationship with fitness. And I don't know if this really intertwines with gym culture, but I'm going to make it intertwine with gym culture because I feel like gym culture is one of those things that, like, it's such an aesthetic, right? Like, people want to be associated with the gym because of what it looks like and not because of what it actually does for you, okay? So that's what we're getting into. And before I get too deep into this point, honestly, I probably should have gave you guys a little bit of this background at the beginning, but whatever, here we are. It's how my podcasts work sometime. I kind of want to talk a little bit about my background and my relationship with the gym and fitness in general. I've been going to the gym consistently close to, well, let's see. I feel like I was introduced to it when I became a collegiate athlete, and that was, oh my God, that was almost 9 years ago, bro. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, but consistently, like, going to the gym, like, outside of college and everything like that, it's honestly only probably been 3 years, like, the past 3 years. And let me just say, I think because I was introduced to the gym and lifting as an athlete, I have a very intentional way of how I approach the gym now, if that makes sense. So the way that I think about the gym is very different than how I view society's interpretation of gym culture and what that is. Like, I think I look at the gym in a way that I'm sure people feel, but not enough people are talking about. I know, sometimes when I'm speaking about how I feel, I don't know if it lands, so I'm hoping that this lands. But let me explain. So it's no secret that weight loss has kind of always been this obsession in our society, right? Everybody wants to be fit. Everybody wants to be slim. I remember growing up, my mom literally had all of the Tybo. Oh my God, I'm fucking murdering this. I think it was Tebow. I want to say it was Tebow. But anyway, whatever. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But she literally had all of his DVDs, okay? And she was just doing that shit every day, I swear to God. But on top of that, right? So it started with that shit and then it worked its way into the gym and and then on top of that, there's been countless drug after drug shoved in our faces about, how like this drug will help you lose weight, yada, yada, yada. We can take the most recent one, which is the GL1P or whatever the fuck it is. And anyway, what I'm trying to say is that it's just been this constant obsession to build this idealistic body, this perfect image of ourselves that, a lot of people will do anything to achieve that look that has been promoted for long as fuck, right? But rarely is there talk about how fitness can be more than just a means to weight loss, but a chance to appreciate our bodies, what they can do, the challenges that we can put them through. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that's where I feel like people can get into trouble because they don't take a deeper look at what these drugs can do long term to their bodies and, or they overwork their bodies or they don't give their bodies the nutrients that they all need because they're so focused on that being fit part. So the perception of the relationship that you have with fitness and your body is distorted because you just want to be fit. You just want to look good. But I just feel like there isn't enough people talking about that appreciation piece. And I know that it's out there. Like, I don't want to act like I'm being naive because I know that there is talk about how, physical activity and fitness can be really good for both your mental and physical well-being. And I know that that's out there, but I feel like, why aren't we talking about the feeling though that comes with that and like what it feels like to really appreciate our bodies during this process? Like, everybody is like, oh, like the effects after you work out, the effects after. What about like while you're doing it? You know what I mean? Like, there's beauty in that too. And another thing is, like, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm any better when it comes to, falling for this shit because I've definitely put my body through shit, I've definitely fell victim to looking for a solution, whether it be through certain exercises or drugs to achieve this idealistic body, right? And honestly, it's something that I still wrestle with even today. But one of the things that I really try to remind myself, especially when it comes to lifting and going to the gym, is that it's not a task or a tool to make me look good. Going to the gym is something that I do for myself. It's something that I do for my health. It's something that I do for my physical and mental health. And over the years, I've learned to be extremely present with myself during these workouts. Like, I focus really hard on the muscle groups that I'm targeting, and I really appreciate that feeling of being challenged. And ultimately, that's a time for me to feel like an athlete again. So I'm not kidding when I say my gym demeanor is very intentional. Like, I do not like to be fucked with at the gym. I am in a different headspace, dude. And that time is so sacred to me because I don't get to experience that athlete mindset much anymore. So when I'm there, like I'm locked in. And that's the other thing is that I don't get a lot of time to myself. So this time is a time for me to decompress, to be angry, or to just be present with the intensity of all of it. And so another thing that I recently took up that has helped me in, being more present is yoga, actually. And what's crazy is that I didn't expect I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting yoga to be more of like a Zen chill out thing that I did once a week. And like yoga is actually so hard, but it's like the best at the same time. And the more I continue to do it, the more that I'm understanding how important it is to appreciate our bodies and what they can do. Yoga really slows your mind and your body down to kind of experience what it feels like to be challenged and to push yourself. And it really brings in that appreciation for your body because I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like you just feel like so focused and concentrated on what you're doing that you have no choice but to be present with everything that you feel like mentally, but also physically, what you're doing, if that makes sense, because the movements are so specific and you have to hold them for a certain amount of time and you have to be focused while you're doing that, because if you break your focus, you lose your concentration, right? Does that make sense? So I'll give you an example of this, right? So, this was probably a few weeks ago before the holidays. Our yoga instructor, we were going through a bunch of these hard progressions, and then we get to this last one, and she's like, she did take it easy on us. She was like, I just want you guys to try, push yourself, see what your body can do, And first of all, I love her. She's great. But anyway, she's like, I'm trying to explain this. Okay. So we're kind of all fours on the ground, right? So my knees and my hands are on the ground. Now she's telling me to balance on my hands, right? And I'm going to bend my elbows to a 45-degree angle and then try to balance my fucking kneecaps, bro, on to the back of my arm, kind of, right? To hold myself up, basically. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. You guys are probably like, what the fuck? Don't remember the name of the position. No idea. Couldn't tell you. She's doing this, and I'm watching her do this. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. I want to learn how to do that, And I could hold it for a second, but that bitch was up there holding it for 30 seconds, probably longer, honestly. But it was cool. It was so cool. And I was just like, oh my God. So this is what it's about, The gist of what I'm getting at is that we need to have a better relationship with fitness in general. If you're going to the gym just to be fit or just for the aesthetic of it all, that relationship is never going to last, okay? But if you change the way you feel about the gym and what the gym can do for you and what the gym can do for your body, your mental well-being, there's a relationship that can last. You get what I'm saying? So I guess my hope is that people who go to the gym or who want to go to the gym go because they want to build that relationship and that appreciation for their bodies, mentally and physically. And, not because they just want to be thin or whatever. Okay. I need to shut up because I think we get the point. Let's move on. I have to say, this episode did not turn out the way I expected it to. Well, it's not entirely true, actually. When I first wanted to do an episode on gym culture, I think I was more so pumped about talking about, the good things about gym culture and how fun that is. And maybe I'll do a counter episode about the good things about gym culture. And that's clearly not what I did here, but maybe I'll do another episode about it someday, about the good things, because there are good things about gym culture, especially in today's world. So anyway, yeah, there's definitely a lot of frustrations in gym culture, and who knows, maybe it's just my gym and that's how it is, but I just had to get my frustrations out there because I'm curious if anybody else, has a similar gym or feels the same way. So, hot take on some of these things, but that's okay. And, I just kind of wish that these were being talked about more if they are happening. So if nobody's going to talk about it, I guess I fucking will. I'll be that guy. Well, woman, rather. So, yeah. Moral of this episode is pay attention to how you're being influenced when it comes to the gym. Are you doing or wearing these things for show, or is it because they feel authentic and accurate to who you are? Please, for the love of God, practice gym etiquette, okay? Be mindful of other people's space and time. And lastly, let fitness be something that you do for you. Learn how to appreciate your body and do it for your physical and mental well-being, not for the image of what you want to be. All right? Okay. Comprende? Compadre? How does it go? How does the saying go? I don't know. I think that's it. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye. I don't know why I say thanks, bye. Like, what the fuck am I talking about? Thanks, bye. Okay, whatever. Okay, bye.